So good luck. Good luck. All right. Let me take another big sip of water. Okay. Field events are Regen and Confusion. And characters are Sora, Mimyuu Jailbird, Lulu, and Suguri 46. In terms of regen, I think pretty much all of these characters are situationally aggro. All of them don't mind fighting. Maybe if you're Suguri 46, you would prefer your damage to be indirect. But other than that, these characters seem to not really mind fighting. They're going to really appreciate the regen. It'll keep them topped up, ready to fight some more. The other field event was Confusion. Confusion kind of just sucks all around. It's really just fucks with you. You know, I can't speak for other players, but I know that when I have Confusion, I'm pretty much always unwilling to play a card for the most part. Generally speaking, I keep the kind of hands where if I played the wrong card, it would be extremely detrimental. So we'll see how our players manage to deal with Confusion, if they manage to deal with it at all. I may need to stand up to stretch my legs, actually, but that's okay. I can still commentate while standing. Turn 3, you know, expected openers from everyone. Everyone's just moving around the board. No combat necessarily yet. Sora kind of likes to do combat, but she's on the other side of the board as everyone else. Mimyuu, she may fight, she may not. Lulu will want to fight once she gets up to 2. Level 2, that is. Get down to 2 HP, lay some eggs, we'll see. Suguri 46 is our first player to actually land on an encounter panel and does successfully find a kill. Sora will follow right behind her, not finding a kill herself, but landing on the encounter panel nonetheless. Yeah, I think Suguri 46, what level does her hyper require? Her hyper requires 3. Okay. Turn 5 comes around. We do not get a fishing turn on our first possible turn of the game. Seagulls comes out. Hits Suguri, I believe, is who that hit. Getting hit by your... sometimes it's your own damn cards. It be your own damn cards. Yeah, all players now above level... above 10 stars. The board we're on is Sealed Archive, which means it's a big old board. It's going to be really hard for players to make it all the way back to their homes. The warp panels on this board are notorious, at least in my case. I find it hard to get home on this board sometimes. Especially when you have to make the choice between the warp panel or whatever the other choice is. Generally, the other choice is, like, not good. Couple Confusion. Oh, okay. Turn 5 was Mystery. Or was Confusion. That's hilarious. Damn, Mimyuu fights a Roboball and is almost brought to death from that one encounter. Kind of crazy. 3 of our players now on low HP. Lulu herself is looking at these HP values and thinking, man, I wish that was me. I wish I could use my egg, but unfortunately only level 1 and at max HP. Coming around to about to be turn 10. We'll see what the second mystery proc is. In long distance shot out of Sora for 1 damage onto 46. Brings her down to 1 HP. 2 players on 1 HP now. All it takes is some board positioning. Could end up in the death of any of these players. Lulu plays the Seagulls with the intent to take out a single player, but the damage is found onto herself. Lowering herself down from max HP. Finds a Norma in the same turn as well. Heals up to 4 HP, level 2. Suguri is right behind her, also level 2. None of our players have managed to find each other, which means nobody has gotten the 2 wins from an early kill. Reminder, it's very nice to get an early kill on another player, and I spoke too soon as Mimyuu starts a fight with Sora. Finds only 1 damage on her. Sora just barely lives thanks to the 2 HP. Retaliation attack is not quite enough. Mimyuu's plus evasion is enough to keep her alive. We'll see how these 2 players continue to interact with each other on their way home. They're both on the same panel now. Sora will have to make a decision on where to end. Regen comes out, though. Nobody's at 1 HP anymore. It will not be a forced evasion for any of these players, even though both Mimyuu and Sora have nice evasion. Speaking of evasion, gonna evade an easy chicken attack right there. Sora does. Mimyuu is on her way to try and finish what she started. Rolls a 6, finds lethal damage onto Sora, will get herself 2 wins. Nice kill onto Sora and a chicken immediately after. I mentioned earlier briefly, it is nice to get an early player kill because you get those 2 wins. When you have 2 wins as level 1, it means you can choose Wins Norma as your second Norma, allowing you to rush a quick level 3. Mimyuu Jailbird doesn't really care that much about a level 3 in terms of, you know, any passives or hypers going on, but you never know. There could be some neutral cards in the deck that are reliant on level 3. There's a lot of good level 3 cards. Mimyuu will have a nice time finding a quick guaranteed level 3. I say quick, what I really mean is guaranteed, because it will not be quick on this big board. Players may have a hard time returning to home. But you know who isn't having a hard time finding a home is Suguri46. Finds level 3 as our first player up to level 3. Continues playing, blasting her music at max volume, as she's gonna finally be able to use her hyper. Does she have one? We don't know. We'll see. Lulu down to perfect egg HP is also does also have enough stars to use an egg. That 40-star requirement is very steep, but she has hit it. She does have an egg, and it's the draw 5. Damn. So bit of a wasted stars there. Maybe you with your draw 5 find another egg to try it again. We'll see. Try and pay attention to which cards they discard. Oh, they don't like most of the original cards in their hand. Okay. So, we have no idea, really, as spectators. But while all that mess was happening, Mimyuu found her way home. As expected, chose the wins. Norma is up to level 2. We'll see just how quick and guaranteed, as I posited earlier, the next Norma will be for that player. Turn 15 rolls around. I didn't see what mystery procced. It gave Treasure. Okay, buried Treasure now on the board. Enjoy. Hopefully our players enjoy a red Treasure chest. We shall see, we shall see. This would be a nice opportunity now that the action has kind of slowed down a little bit. I say that, and yet Sora almost took lethal damage from a Robo-Ball. Now that the action has kind of slowed down for a bit, this would be a nice time to sip some wa. Oh, man. Alright. And 17 rolls around. Players meandering their way around the board. Looking at the state of the game, by the way, Mimyuu did just hit level 3, as predicted, as I said earlier. Nice, easy level 3. Two of our players are level 3. They're both above 80 stars. Both very far in the game. Both ready, actually, to level up themselves. It's going to be interesting to see whether they beeline for a home, whether like how much they want to push for level 4. You know, you have to wonder with these semi-aggro characters if they want to just not push for level 4 immediately so that they can keep the encounter panels on the board to generate wins and stars more easily, or if you would rather spawn the boss to say, you know what, I want to screw over the people who are below me. It's going to make them harder to catch up. We'll see, we'll see. Right behind them is Lulu at Norma 2. No stars because got an unfortunate egg proc. I do kind of feel like the draw 5 from egg is extremely cursed. I feel like if you get stars, you're like, at least I can make back the money I spent on this, it's fine. But really, you're looking for that lucky lunch. And if you get the cards, it just feels bad, in my opinion. But hey, turn 20 rolls around. I don't know what we got for mystery. We got Sprint, which allows Sora to find Norma 2 and Mimyuu to find Norma 4. Boss will spawn on next turn. I was interested in knowing whether our two level 3 players would beeline for Norma 4 or not, and it turns out they did. They're very interested in such a thing. Bosses spawn. Mimyuu is the first person to land on a boss panel, plays Big Magnum, try and get some big damage right at the boss, right at the gate. Luckily for them, even though they took the 1 damage from Big Magnum, boss rolls low. They're able to evade the attack, no problem, not even afraid. Lulu lands on a home, gets up to level 3, excuse me, and Suguri immediately follows suit, getting up to level 4. 2 players at level 4, 1 player at level 3, 1 player at level 2. Still anybody's game. Our 2 players that are level 4, one of them has enough stars to Norma again, is actually very far along, but you gotta remember the only 4 HP out of Suguri means 1 random hit from an aggro character could, one good luck roll could just take them out, so. Still anybody's game. Mimyuu's not far behind in star count. Lulu's a little lacking in star count, but does have the level advantage. So we'll be able to generate more stars from bonus panels than Sora. We'll be able to play more card opportunities than Sora. Sora, however, only level 2, but has a lot of stars, is ready to Norma given any opportunity. We shall see. here and there out of Mimyuu. Using the here and there to roll up on Suguri, but only finding 1 damage on her, so not the worst thing in the world. Lulu chooses not to land on her home panel so that she wouldn't be an easy target for the others to use her to level up, as Suguri is our first player to hit normal 5, 51 stars away. Another here and there from Sora. It's funny, both here and there's that have been played have put all players near each other, and it resulted in Lulu fighting Suguri, gonna try and take a bite of that massive amount of stars that Suguri's holding on to. Only finds 1 damage and takes 1 damage in return, however. Not quite enough. I was gonna say both of the here and there's that have been played have put our players all near each other, so it does not surprise me that the second one resulted in a fight, that the first one resulted in the avoidance of a fight, and the second one resulted in a fight itself, due to the board positions it put everyone in. Mimyuu now has more stars than Suguri after these past couple turns. Still 1 level down, but has more stars. Speaking of levels, Sora finds level 3. Mimyuu lands on another boss panel, dealing another damage to the boss. Our boss this time around only deals 1 damage to Mimyuu, but our boss this time around is the big robot, and the big robot is notorious for having the best defense stat of any boss. Therefore, he's not the scariest when you fight him. He will still destroy an unprepared player, unlike Lulu, who takes no damage, and Suguri, who, wait, that is an 8 from the boss, immediately overriding what I just said. Suguri takes lethal damage from the boss, losing half of her stars. The leader has fallen. Boss is down to like, what, 3 or 4 HP? Lulu, immediately after seeing that, says, I want a taste of the blood. I can't commentate, I'm sorry. The bloodbath has begun. Lulu fights Mimyuu, taking 1 damage, but taking 3 damage in return. Lulu is now down to egg HP. Does she have an egg in hand? Mimyuu lands on a drop panel. We'll see. We'll see. Ooh, Lulu does have an egg in hand. The gamble comes out. You roll the stars. Okay, so you might profit from this. Rolling a 2, I believe that is actually profits, correct? No, 2 means you break even. So played a card, nothing happens, essentially. It's up to you whether you think drawing 5 cards for 40 stars is more or less valuable than playing 1 card and having nothing happening. A second egg has been played. This second egg in a row will result in stars. Once again, this time the roll is a 5, meaning massive profit for our Lulu player. Meanwhile, Mimyuu lands on a home, hits normal 4, is now in the lead, and a pretty commanding one at that. 22 stars away from from just ending the game, not even from first place. Places a trap card on her own home. Has to make the decision to fight Lulu or fight the boss. Chooses to fight Lulu because it's less scary than the boss. Sure enough, deals 1 damage to Lulu, takes nothing in return. You got to be pretty happy with that decision, I think if you're Mimyuu. Fighting Lulu's probably one of the safest. Lulu and Suguri are equally as safe to fight, so I would rather fight either of them than the boss for certain. Lulu is unfortunately out of egg, no more egg chaining. Sora lands on the boss panel, plays a big Magnum, is not quite able to find lethal damage on the boss, however. In fact, falls to the boss. Boss is loaded, down to 1 HP. Next fight will kill the boss. Mimyuu's gonna try and claim that bounty. Rolls a 3, it is enough, claims the bounty up to 341 stars, and is not that far away from a home, not her home, is as far away from her home as you could possibly be, probably. Lulu lands on a nearby home, gets up to normal 4. Suguri says, ooh, you just killed the boss, I'm gonna take you out, Mimyuu, but only finds 3 damage, not quite enough, even with the assistance of the I'm on Fire battle card. Luckily, Mimyuu played an orange mushroom, which seems to have given her +1 defense, served her well in that fight, and then Suguri falls to a seagull. Honestly, the prison break out of Mimyuu, we'll see how that helps her get back home. It's going to be 20 panels of rolling twice, and 20 panels of being safe from being fought by other players. It will be nice, but this board is a massive, massive board. That was a very close call. Seagull rolled a 3. Mimyuu chose to evade. Did successfully evade, but only by 1 point. This is a massive board. There's more than 20 panels standing between her and her own home panel. We'll see if she's able to make it there. The war panels are going to do a lot of work to make her life easier, though. Lulu finds a home panel of herself. Gets up to normal 5. It's only now that I'm realizing Lulu is at match point. Lulu, I don't know when this happened, but Lulu has 200 stars. Yeah, I have not been paying attention to her star count at all, but she is just as close to winning now as Mimyuu is, although Mimyuu has the advantage of her own hyper, helping her around the board. Sora hits level 4 as well. All players except Sora, level 4. Suguri finds... Ooh, and we're getting a fishing competition. It wouldn't be one of my streams if we didn't go fishing, that's all I'm saying. Hey, Suguri finds a home panel. He's not quite ready to level up, but this is interesting, because it could mean that if Lulu has a nice amount of HP on her next turn and rolls high enough, she could decide to fight Suguri to attempt to instantly end the game, or throw if she dies to Suguri. I wasn't paying attention to how much health Lulu has, if that is a risk that would be worth taking. We'll see what happens. Mimyuu also rolls before Lulu and is pretty decently close to her own home while rolling 2 dice, so she could also just roll high enough to end the game instantly. Suguri is the winner of our fishing extravaganza. Thank you for playing. Confusion turn. Gonna shake things up. Players might be too scared to use any game-shaking cards right now due to the confusion, although 3 of our players have only 1 card in hand, so it's not gonna be that hard to remember which ones they have. Mimyuu rolls high enough to land on her own home. The trap in her own home was a piggy bank, and so the game ends there. A nice, clean victory from Mimyuu. Good job. GG's. Well played.